Last time on The Ties That Bind. After saving the town of Birchwood Creek from the scourge of an undead threat, Wolfgang, Osmo, and Denier made their way north to the city of Coldreach, only to find themselves in the midst of another horrifying mystery. It seems a serial killer was afoot, leaving grotesque corpses in their wake, completely drained of blood. Miguel and Magnus, elder cousins of Wolfgang, enlisted the aid of our heroes to get to the bottom of this chilling investigation. After questioning the mayor, a widow, the town magistrate, and other suspicious individuals, the men split up in search of clues, only to be drawn to the late-night screams of a woman. Upon reaching the site, Wolfgang and Denier find the body of Lyle Van Thorn, magistrate of Coldreach. The only question on everyone's mind is who done it. So, you're Wolfgang, Denier, you are in this room, and this man is contorted, arms broken, legs broken, eyelids peeled off of his face, and his tongue has been cut in half, but not left in that knotted ball that you are familiar with from the other corpse that you have seen.
And he is bleeding?
There are a few drops of blood on the ground, yes, directly under his neck. Where the slit mark is, but all you find are a few drops there. And the woman, the Miss Madeline Harcroft, is quivering, just kind of terrified out of her mind in the corner, wearing a robe.
Does he still have his eyelids?
No, they have been peeled off.
Okay.
All right.
Denier's going to approach Madeline. He's going to kneel down slowly. It's all right.
Yeah, she's just shaking and looking straight ahead of herself. She seems to be in shock.
He's going to pull his cloak off, and he's going to try to wrap it around her.
All right, you give her a little comfort blanket. Go ahead and roll Persuasion with disadvantage. See if that does anything for her.
Okay. 4.
She still seems really shook. Like she didn't move when you started like putting it around her, and she's still just kind of quivering there, eyes wide, staring at an open window.
Wolfgang, it looks like it escaped this way. There's an open window back over here.
Wolfgang's going to go to the window real quick and look out and see if he can see anything.
All right, you get to the window. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Perception check. That's a 6.
All right, 6 on perception. You're looking outside. You see people kind of gathering in the streets, some starting to move towards this door that you have unlocked and opened up. A lot of them still kind of in their sleeping gowns and stuff, but nothing that seems overly suspicious given the circumstances.
All right, he's going to look around the room now. Going to see if there are any signs of a struggle or anything like that.
All right, you're on a bit of a landing on the upper floor. Looks like there are a couple of rooms that this landing leads to, including the bedroom, which Miss Harcroft is kind of cowering to the side of. And it looks like there's a washroom over to one side. But go ahead and roll an investigation check. This seems to be a small lounge that you are in.
Natural 20.
Nice. All right. Well, you're looking around here, and as you are surveying the land, you do notice that as opposed to the other place that you're in, there seems to have been a small scuffle, and you see kind of a boot scuff that leads towards the window, and you actually find a shred of black cloth kind of stuck to a nail on the windowsill.
Is the deceased wearing any shoes or cloaks to note?
He seems to be, he's shirtless, kind of looks like he just got out of bed. There's a small candle holder next to him with a burnt out candle on it. And yeah, he's were it not for basically a pair of underpants, he's basically naked.
All right.
Denier calls out while he's trying to comfort Madeline. Check for magic. If there's any kind of trace, it still might be fresh.
I think I would still have my detect magic on from last session.
Right? Yeah, you see the usual culprits, the bricks in the rooms that are kind of emanating heat, the various pieces. You do notice that the piece of black cloth that you found, however, is magical.
What school of magic?
Let me check real quick. Pretty sure it is abjuration, but let me see.
Abjuration always sounds like a naughty word, and I don't know why.
Doesn't it?
Abjuration. Oh, I saw her.
Timmy,
She was abjurating all over the place.
Forgive me. It's transmutation.
Transmutation. Okay. Transmutation magic. The black cloth. I see a pair of boot marks skidding towards the window. Some black cloth that's coated in transmutation magic.
Yeah, from your investigation, you kind of feel like that whoever was doing this got interrupted somehow, or at least it's made to look like that something was interrupted.
Were there signs of a struggle at the other scenes?
Not that you noticed, at the very least. Everything seemed like the furniture seemed pushed out of way in order for it to be like have this altar place. Like it looks like the furniture was moved, but it did not look like it was moved via a scuffle. It looked like it was moved on purpose after the fact.
Whatever this thing is, it's getting bolder, or at least more careless.
I'll turn my attention to Madeline.
Yeah, she's still quivering, staring out the window. The wind is kind of blowing through it. It's chill, and she shivers a bit, but your cloak is keeping her warm. She's dressed in a relatively thin robe. Looks like she just kind of came out of bed as well.
I realize that you've been through a lot, and I know that you're terrified right now. But as much as you can tell us, as detailed as you can tell us, is going to give us a better chance to try to get this thing.
All right. Give her a persuasion check. Since you've already made the attempt, just normally.
14.
14. All right. She manages to come to her senses a little bit as her eyes meet yours. She goes from this clouded look of shock in her eyes to a look of deep sadness and terror. We were turning in for the night, and well, he wanted to go check on a few things in his study. I just turned in, and I heard the usual creaks of him moving about, but it felt wrong. Something was wrong, and I came out, and I found this cloaked man just standing over him, and he looked at me, and he just ran. I thought I was going to die.
Now, you're doing phenomenal. Think carefully. Did you see any kind of symbols, any kind of markings, anything on his face? Did you get a clear look at his face, or was he masked?
Just gonna try to remember. Ooh, nat 20. I remember a glow. A pink glow coming from their hand. It was on a knife.
Oh.
I see. Look over towards Wolfgang and give a nod.
Great.
I couldn't do anything.
You did exactly what you needed to do. Because you screamed, it brought us. You saved your own life by screaming.
It has to be that bastard Fjord. That bastard Darren Fjord did this!
Is he the mayor?
He is the interim mayor. He was the only candidate left.
We've got one of Wolfgang's cousins with him. We're going to talk to his cousin. We're going to see. We gave him direct orders not to leave his sight. We're going to see if he lost sight of him at any time. And if he did, we'll go from there.
She nods. And just kind of quiets down.
All right.
Is there anywhere else in this house that you would like to check? This is, by the way, the victim's house.
All right.
As Madeline is not currently allowed back in her house as it is an active crime scene.
Looks like this is going to be an active crime scene as well.
Yep.
I'm going to check the body. I'm going to check the wound specifically to see how thorough they were with this process.
All right. Would you like this to give me a medical check?
Yeah. I'm going to check to see basically if all of his wounds stemmed from one thing or if there were multiple slashes. 15?
Oh.
Looks like the decisive blow was the strike across the neck. It does not this man was definitely beaten up beforehand though, but no other slash marks appear on the body other than, the peeled off eyelids. Arms broken, legs broken. With that roll, you can't tell in what order, but you can definitely tell that this man was in a lot of pain when he went out.
So there's only one slash mark.
And it's straight across the throat.
And
so whatever it was a coup de grace that finished this.
So his tongue was something else then.
Yeah, well, no, his tongue is cut in half, but that was definitely post-mortem. Yeah, no other slash marks other than the post-mortem slashes.
Okay.
Sorry.
So it appears that the victim's body contorts from this pink crystal. And then the tongue is something they do afterwards. Some sort of calling card, I would say. Denier, what's your crystal looking like?
I'll stand up. I'll give her a reassuring smile before I walk into the next room, and I check the crystal using Mage Hand.
As you open the bag, it's definitely pulsing more than it was at the graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them are, since you have the two in that bag now.
We're a lot closer. Do you still have the cloth?
Yep, I have it right here.
Let me take a look at it.
All right, I hand it to him.
Can I roll an Arcana check to attempt to determine exactly, the specific type of magic on it?
Yes.
Okay.
And also, I was mistaken again. It wasn't transmutation. It was illusion magic that you were seeing.
Illusion?
Yeah.
Oh, that changes it.
24.
Yeah, there's definitely some sort of illusion magic on it.
Mm-hmm.
It's without the full article. Like, this thing's kind of fading just by being apart from it. It is hard to tell exactly what the magic is meant to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's illusion. Could be invisibility. Could be some kind of concealment. Could be something to keep him silent as he walks.
Silly question. Do they walk into the study? You said you walked into the other room. I was just curious if you walked into the study.
I walked into the next room.
Yeah, the next room would have been the washroom or the bedroom. The study is on the bottom floor.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to suggest that we walk into the study.
All right, if you wander down there, it's a relatively well-kept office. There's papers kind of scattered about. Looks like he, I mean, he's the town magistrate, basically the town's judge, jury, and executioner. And seems to be a lot of legal documents lying around. But in relative order. Anything that's out definitely looks like it's being worked on.
Hey, Wolfgang, do you think we should, one of us should go outside and send a signal to maybe your cousins or the guard? I could throw a firebolt up into the air if the sky is clear.
Yeah,
Hopefully
when you get to the bottom level, you do hear some commotion going on outside, and as you're wandering around, there are people that are asking, like, "Hey, what's happening? What happened in there?"
Nothing to see here. Return to your homes.
Roll persuasion.
Hey, 17.
Oh, not bad.
That's pretty good. Yeah, you get a vast majority of them just kind of looking at each other left and right and wandering away.
Nudge Wolfgang in the ribs, point to my eyes, and then point to the crowd.
Before they disperse, I still have my detect magic on. Do I see anything unusual?
Good majority of them are wearing some sort of magical items, mostly robes.
Their robes are magic.
Yeah.
Would you describe this town as kind of like a middle class town?
I would call this town relatively upscale, like upper middle class. This definitely seems like a trading club. It is a trading port, and there are a lot of people that have made good money in trade here. And a lot of the houses are fairly nice. There are some people who have less, obviously, but those are people who are employed within the town, and they're usually fairly well taken care of.
If I'd have to... Well... Anything?
A lot of them appear to be wearing magical items on them. Mostly robes. But I think it's a different type of magic than what we got right here.
Yeah, more than likely it's abjuration, if it's to protect them from the cold.
I'd have to hazard a guess, yeah. Alright.
You reckon we should go get Asmo?
Yeah. You go get Asmo, I'll go get my cousins.
Alright.
Is there anything else you want to look at in the house before you leave?
Probably wanted to get the lady out of there. Just get her somewhere safe.
Okay. Where would you determine as somewhere safe?
Well, the bar seems friendly and relatively populated. Probably just say, if you can take care of her, she needs somewhere to stay and she's got nowhere else.
All right. You can go try to convince her to leave.
I'll head up there. And I'll kneel down next to her.
All right.
Madeline.
She looks over at you. Still wearing your robe or your cloak.
I'm going to make a suggestion.
Okay.
We need to go get Wolfgang's cousins, and we need to get our companion. But we don't want to leave you here by yourself in case it comes back. We want to move you to a safer location.
If this place isn't safe, what place is? All of this started happening as soon as you Outlanders came here. And those elves.
We came because of your troubles and your strife. I can't speak of the others, but we're here to help fix the problem. The thing that is doing this to you, to your people, to your friends, to your family, we hunt it. And the thing about Tabaxis, we're really good hunters.
Doesn't look that way to me. Or to him. Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Okay. 7. Mm-mm.
Yeah, she closes the bedroom door, and you hear a click.
All right, fair enough. I tried.
So
And
she's just staying in where? Where is she staying?
She's in the bedroom, and the door is locked.
With the body?
No, the body is on the upper floor landing.
Oh.
walk downstairs, shake his head.
Well, I'll probably end up. No, I'll leave the body where it is, actually.
We don't want to touch it for right now.
Yeah.
All right, if that's the last bit of business you want to take care of here, you can head back to the bar and try to find your cousins or signal something or other.
How many, okay, the bedroom. Did we see the bedroom?
It was dark in there. It doesn't look like there was anything lit inside.
Was there any windows in there?
Yes.
Okay.
That's how the dude got out.
No, the dude got out through the window on the upper landing.
Oh.
How big of a window?
Looks fairly normal size. I mean, you could easily slip a body through it if you wanted to, but the window in the bedroom was closed. For the obvious reasons that it is fucking cold.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Should I put a spell on the door so we'll be alerted if anybody goes through the door besides her?
Yeah, I think that would be best.
All right, I'll head back upstairs.
Although her story seems a little strange.
Denier nods.
Said the figure that did this to the victim, it sort of just looked at her and didn't really seem like it was going to attack her.
Well,
If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say she's not on the menu.
yeah, either she's not a target or the fact that she screamed, it knew that it probably wouldn't be able to get to her, finish her before somebody gets to us, before someone got to it.
Another thing to note that is that all the victims have been male. I wonder if that means anything.
And all have been with her.
Sorry, you cut out there a
Her,
little.
her vagina's doing the killing.
Basically, this is the third victim, right?
Yes.
And 2 of the victims have slept with her, that we know for sure.
Yes.
That's
Oh boy.
basically Denier is speculating that maybe he's not doing anything, but he's linking causes and effects.
Okay.
My mind is telling me that that's not really the case here. I mean, clearly this man had one of the crystals. Seems from the story he's repurposed it as a weapon, a dagger of some sort.
It could be that the dagger itself is potentially vampiric in nature. The fact that it cuts could drain blood.
Well, it is a crystal of the bleeding god, so who knows what sort of properties it has. Actually,
I don't know. It seems from what I've seen, and I'd like to make a Arcana check along with this, Lani.
Go ahead.
Okay.
To determine what, though?
Denier has a theory that every gem has a specific use and a specific ability to them.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that Arcana check.
That is a nat 1.
All you have is speculation. You have nothing to base this off of.
So
Denier, give me your hand for a minute.
he reaches out and holds his hand out.
All right, I'm going to. Sorry, I'm going to take his hand and I'm going to pull out my dagger.
I don't
Okay.
like where this is going.
Trust me, I'm testing a theory. And I'm going to prick his finger.
Ow!
All right.
Finger pricked, only surface level damage, nothing to actually take your stats to.
5
Alright.
points of trust damage taken.
Now, Mage hand one of the crystal shards, not the big one.
All right, he's going to mage hand the robin egg.
All right, and I'm going to like cup the blood dripping from his finger in my gloved hand, and I'm going to say just dip the crystal in there, just dip the crystal in there.
All right, he puts the crystal into Wolfgang's gloved hand that the blood is in.
This is the robin's egg one?
Robin's egg.
All right. When it is introduced to the blood shines for a moment and disappears.
Aha!
I think that every single one of these gems has a specific purpose. Like, the only thing that I've ever seen my gem do is to calm my emotions, to calm me down. Whereas we've seen what the robin's egg does. And we've seen what your gem did when we took it from the necromancer.
Daenerys, give me a one sec. Perception check.
Okay. I was getting ready to roll a will save.
Nope.
16.
Your finger isn't bleeding anymore. Doesn't sting.
Yeah, I'm not bleeding anymore. The stinging's gone.
Curious. I look at his finger. Is the wound still there?
No, looks like nothing ever happened.
Might
It's
have
just a
some
perfect
sort of-
little fuzzy paw.
Might have some sort of minor healing properties as well. Very curious. Well, we've done our little test. We found out that these crystals can absorb blood and have minor healing properties as well. I think we should consult with the others on their findings.
Fair enough. Give me a few minutes for this door.
Yep.
And Daenerys going to cast alarm on her door,
Okay.
excluding her as a target. That will excluding her as an alarm target, so she can pass in and out. But if anybody else does, it will trigger a mental alarm to me.
Okay. How long does alarm last?
8 hours.
Okay. So it'll last. Gotcha.
Throughout the night, probably.
It lasts 8 hours, and it works to a range of, I believe, within 1 mile of the warded area. As long as I'm within a mile, I can hear it.
Yeah, you'll be fine as long as you stay within town. Alright, so you cast alarm on that door and you guys head back out to the bar. You still have some curious onlookers looking in through their looking out through their windows. Go ahead and give me a perception check as you make your way back to the bar. Each of you.
That's a 12.
12.
16.
Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary, just people staring out their windows. You make it back to the bar. The lights are dimmer, but there's still some lanterns kind of lit in the back stairwell. The bell rings as you enter the door. As you enter the bar.
Anybody behind the bar?
It looks like it's closed down for the night.
All right. Now here's the question. Do you remember the room that we got?
Do you remember?
I sort of been taking in a lot of information tonight.
Go ahead and roll an intelligence check if you guys want to try to remember.
17.
17.
12.
Wolfgang, you feel like you remember the number on the key, so you can head upstairs and you find the door. Osmo, did you lock the door when you went to sleep?
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, it's locked.
Should have guessed.
Do we want to do this quiet or do we want to do this loud?
I just used the key and I opened the door.
Osmo had the key. There's one key to this room.
Oh, right, that's right. All right. Well, then I cast light on my finger and I shine it underneath the door.
All right. Osmo, roll a. Wolfgang, roll a persuasion or an arcana check. Osmo, you roll a will save to try to stay asleep.
Excellent. You joke.
Natural one.
Oh. Light? What light?
A will save? Like a wisdom save, you mean?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You got a nat 1.
11. I saved it.
Yeah, you are safe from this light that's trying to wake you up.
I just start knocking on the door.
All right, that'd wake you up pretty quickly.
Yeah. I kind of open the door while scratching my ass. So how you guys have fun tonight?
There's another body.
God damn it. Asmo turns and walks around and grabs his pants. Who got?
The magistrate.
Which one? I thought they already got.
That was the mayor. That was
Yeah, the former magistrate and mayoral candidate was taken. That was, sorry, give me a moment to go back on my notes. Bjorn Pilton, former magistrate. He was the body that you originally found. And Ferris Harcroft, the former mayor, was also killed.
I thought the magistrate died already.
Van Thorn.
Already? Oh my god.
Zip, zip, zip. Slapping it all on.
You actually hear some shifting from a couple of the rooms around you.
Which rooms?
A couple of them. One of them opens up and you see the handsome, dark-haired elf kind of looking out. Little late, eh, boys?
A little bit, but crime never sleeps, my man.
My man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a quick detect magic on the bard, specifically on his clothes.
It doesn't seem to be wearing anything magical. He seems to be wearing striped pajamas, blue and white.
Are we thinking vertical or horizontal straight pajamas?
Vertical. Makes him look taller.
Yeah, it does. It would. Definitely would.
His hair is a bit messy. It's like he seems to have tried to tie some of it back while he was sleeping, but it's a little frizzled. Anything I could be of assistance with?
Probably not.
Very well. Yes. Good night. Closes the door.
Rest well.
I'm like that every morning when I walk my dog.
Right. So, this one was different.
How so?
And do you just fill me in on it all?
Yeah, I basically fill you in on all the information we've attained.
So she seriously...
The fact that the tongue wasn't quite tied and that there was still blood at the scene. I also give them information on what the crystals do now.
So that what it sounds like to me is that the reason why they're all drained of blood is because this person slits their throat and sucks all the blood out of their body, and I guess just as all the blood's being sucked out by this thing, they just crumple.
That would be my guess, yes. Although, it seems like the tongue and the eyelids were done posthumously.
Well, that's clearly that's whatever the guy's going for, which for the life of me, I can't understand why. It's cult shit.
Probably a calling card. Or it's cult shit.
I can call him. I feel like this killer needs a name.
You hear the bell ring downstairs.
Like what kind of bell?
The doorbell, like the bell that when you enter the tavern.
We start walking downstairs, I'm guessing, right?
Yeah. You got Magnus standing there. He looks to be covered in dirt. Body's all exhumed. Everything seems in order.
And what did you find?
Just a contorted fucking body. Nothing magical, nothing in there.
Nothing behind the eye either.
No. I took it out and... Oh boy, that's a... We're just not going to talk about that to anybody around here, right? They don't like desecrating corpses kind of a thing.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, definitely. You did rebury it, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
That's what took me so fucking long.
Well, that is useful information, and we found out a bit of useful information as well. And I sort of like call him over to one of the tables.
He sits down with you. You pull a couple of the stools that are folded, like they basically been stacked up on the table. You flip some down and you sit on them.
I came up with the name for the killer, by the way. Tongue Twister. Yeah, it's not bad, right?
Magnus likes it. I like it.
Sure, we'll go with it. Anyway, so it appears there was another one. There was another victim.
Oh gods.
Yep, it was
Van Thorn.
right. It was Van Thorn. I forgot to write down his name. Shit.
The magistrate. Oh man. Well, that just complicates this.
Yeah, but this one was different. We had a
So?
witness.
Who? Harcroft?
Yeah, Muriel
Yes.
was with him.
And apparently, whatever they do to sanguinate the victim, that process appears to have been interrupted.
We should go get Miguel.
Right. He was with
The mayor, right?
the interim mayor.
Mr. Fjord.
Be curious to go to his home, anyways.
I just look at the guys and I kind of give them a look about the symbol, like the necromancer patch that we have found, and how it matches that guy. You may give us an interesting insight into this guy's house.
Yeah, Magnus stands up, stacks his bar stool back up. You hear a voice calling from upstairs. Everything all right down there?
Is it Is that Sandra?
It's Clara, actually.
Oh, it's Clara.
Everything's fine. You might want to stay in tonight, though. Unfortunately, there's been another killing.
Oh no.
Yeah. The best keep the door locked.
Right, we should have a special knock for when you guys come back, huh?
Yeah.
Osmond just kind of does knock, 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 knock.
All right, I'll stay up and listen for that.
Okay then.
You see her kind of coming down the stairs in a bit of a robe. Yeah, she seems kind of bundled. Looks very sleepy. Hair kind of tousled.
Okay. So we pick it up and going.
Yep, you guys head out. Bell
Yeah.
rings as you leave, and you hear a click behind you as it locks. And Magnus begins to lead you towards the mayor's house, which is towards the west of the town, which is opposite the graveyard, and past Harcroft and Van Thorn's place.
Asmo just whispers to the ear.
Check your gem. See if it's glowing brighter.
Daenerys nods, and as they approach the house, he's going to check the bag.
As you approach the house, it seems to be pulsing the same way it did when you were at Van Thorn's place.
Okay.
Magnus walks up and knocks on the door. Takes a second, but you see a light come on. The door opens, and it's Miguel. And as he sees that it's you, one of his hands kind of loosens the bowstring on a crossbow that he's holding. What's going on?
There's been another one.
Who now?
Magistrate.
Shit.
Yep. But we've got a witness.
They saw the killer.
Yes, and I pull out the scrap of cloth. It appears that unlike the other ones, there was a struggle, and the supposedly the killer lost this. It is coated in illusion magic.
Mind if I kind of holds out his hand for the cloth?
Go for it.
Takes it and looks at it. Starts examining it. Hey, Mr. Mayor, you might want to come down here. I told you to stop calling me that.
One assailant attacked with apparently a dagger that had a small pink gem within it. Once the victim saw and screamed, the assailant fled through a window and escaped.
I've deduced that maybe through the process of the blood being drained, that it goes into this crystal, and that is what contorts the body, is the massive loss of blood. The eyelids and the tongue are both done posthumously, sort of as a calling card or a ritual.
We'll see what we can do about tracking down the owner of this cloth. The Mr. Fjord comes down the stairs. By the way, in this room, it's not very well lit, but you can see it's very nicely decorated. There seems to be a bookshelf kind of against the stairway that leads upwards. There are a couple of tapestries that contain the house sigil, the familiar sigil that you found on the necromancer at the wall. And there's a small table and a couple of chairs. Looks to be a nice set for drinks, you know, like one of those rolling carts that has a cask on it with liquor in it, and there's some glasses on there. And he comes down in he's kind of half dressed. He has slacks on and a shirt and a robe kind of around it. He looks kind of like Tony Soprano on any given Saturday.
Fuck yeah. Hope this arc doesn't just end random.
Don't stop. Yeah, he's coming down. There's been another.
Seems that way.
Unfortunately, yes, but we do have a witness now.
Who's the witness, and who was the victim?
Victim was the town magistrate.
Mr. Van Thorn.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll insight as a peculiar look crosses his face.
Just one or all of us?
23.
All of you.
15.
Okay, I get to do a roll. 16.
Wolfgang and Osmo, you read this guy, and it's bizarre. It is a definite mix of emotions, but you can see that some relief is in there somewhere. That's a shame.
Based on this, you're next.
It would look that way, I suppose.
You live here alone.
I do.
You'll have a son who's away from town or anything like that?
His face kind of... Actually, let me see how well he keeps his composure at that. I had a family, but they left for reasons.
What reasons might those be?
Wife and I weren't getting along too well, and, well, our son kind of went with her, I suppose.
How old is your son?
He was 15.
Lani, I would like to look around the foyer, look around the area that we're in to see if there's any kind of family portraits or anything like that.
All right.
Actually,
Yeah, go ahead and investigate.
21.
You can kind of see in the next room over that seems to be a study. It's dark, but with your night vision, you can see that there's a oil painting there with him, a woman, like him sitting in a chair, a woman standing next to him at his side, and the woman is sitting in the chair holding a baby, and he is standing to her side.
Okay.
Okay.
Why did what's happening? Just kind of looking around at you.
Feels like everyone's dying. Who's in your way?
I swear to you, he's been here the whole night. I haven't left. Miguel like kind of nods. Checks out. He's right. He never left. He just went upstairs, and I got his windows warded. I got his door warded. Nothing.
No, I don't. I'm not accusing him of doing it. I'm saying that what's being done seems to be at his benefit. So the real question is, more or less, how would you objectively benefit to all these people dying? Not saying you wanted it, but how can you benefit?
I can't even think about things like that right now. This is all
Try.
just so...
Your life is at stake, sir. And honestly, I don't want to be in this town for much longer. I want to get to the bottom of this as soon as possible.
I
So,
want you to get to the...
please.
I want you to get to the bottom of this as much as you do. People are dying in my town. And whether or not I would have... Whether or not I would have been the one they voted for, I feel responsible.
Denier,
Yes.
get me a crystal.
What
All right.
crystal?
Denier opens up. Denier fishes out the bag, opens it up, mage hand, and he plucks out the robin egg.
And it doesn't seem any different in terms of glowiness and pulsing, right?
It's pulsing the same way it does at the other house.
Sir, does this look familiar to you?
Go ahead and roll insight.
Woof! 14.
No. Just kind of looks at you.
Ten.
Why would it? It's just a magic gem, right?
Natural 20.
Oh, shit.
Osmo, you see some beads of sweat drip down this guy's temple. He's fucking lying. He's seen this before. Or
I
something
looked at-
like it.
I looked at Denier, and then I looked at Asmo.
Asmo you see Asmo just turn his face, and Asmo just nods a little, and Asmo just shakes his head a little bit, like gestures his head towards the guy, just shakes his head.
What?
Like, yeah, this guy's fucking full of shit right now.
It's just a magic stone, right?
If you wanted to get to the bottom of this, Mr. Mayor, then why are you lying to us?
It's just a magic stone like any other, right?
It's a magic stone. It's not like any other. My friend here thinks you're bullshitting us.
No, trust me, I know a bullshitter.
Asmo
Really?
just smiles.
Yeah, I'm a master at it.
No, not you.
Oh.
Really? It'd be best for everyone, you included, if you just come clean. Tell us what you know about this.
Go ahead and persuasion with advantage.
16s.
All right. The last night I saw my son, he had something like that. It had that same glow. That's all I know, though. That's just where I saw it. I'm
Did
sorry.
Your,
It's
your wife also left with your son. Did she also have one of these?
no.
When your son left, where did he get it from? Did he say?
No.
Did your son have any sort of anger issues or depression of some sort?
He was a good boy, but he didn't get along well with well, a lot of those his age. He got in a lot of scraps and...
Did he join a gang or a group of people you didn't really know? And would he hang out with them a lot?
There was a point where he started making odd hours, but I had a business to run. I couldn't.
Nah,
It's fine. Making odd hours. What do you mean by that, Nick, actually?
It means that he'd be coming home at like very weird times. Sometimes when it's dawn. Sometimes like he'd. This climate seems to be like where there's only like, you know, a couple hours of sunshine a day. It seems to be weird to decipher what is day and what is night to a lot of people, but typically during the actual daylight hours, people are, you know, out and about, and then they stay out.
Who did your son spend time with?
Yeah.
Outside of your family, anyone else you can think of?
I mean, he was like any young boy that age. He fancied girls. He went out and... I can't think. I don't think I can name a friend, frankly.
What was your son's name? We can ask around.
Darius.
Darius. D-A-R-I-U-S?
Yeah, there are two R's, but...
D-A-R-R-I-U-S. Darius.
Darius Fjord.
And Aslan just gestures to like the... Is there an emblem of his family in the room?
Yeah.
How many people are in this family still? The Fjords.
I am the current patriarch, and there isn't much to pass it down to unless my son were to return home.
This
Aslan just nods slowly and goes like, oh shit. In his mind. Ah, fuck.
this jewel that he had, was it big like this one, or was it just a little teeny tiny like sliver or a shard?
I didn't get a good look at it. I remember seeing that glow in his hand the night he left. The night he went south.
South, huh?
Do you think my son has anything to do with all this? Do you think he's behind this?
I don't think
No.
your son is behind all of the stuff happening in town, no. I think it might have something to do with these crystals, though.
Yeah. The person doing this has a crystal similar, yet different in size. It's not your son.
I see.
The question is why someone who would have the same article as your son, the same strange crystal that your son acquired, why another person would be using this and taking out all the higher-ups in this town. Now, I understand the need every now and then to clean house when there's a power consolidation. Happens all the time with gangs. Gangs take out different leaders and they all get amalgamated into a different group. Heck, the nobles do it, but they pretend they're above it. The difference is there's magic afoot here, and it's a very, very dangerous one, and they do a weird fucked up thing to the body afterwards. That makes it a bit more.
Well, right now there's no rule of
Cult-like.
law in this town without a magistrate. Give me a moment. Let me get dressed, please. He starts to walk upstairs.
No. Hold on. Asmo follows him.
All right.
I'm gonna follow him. Like, ugh.
He's not going to stop you from following him. He understands that he is under heavy suspicion here. You follow him to his room. It's a very nice room with a large, what would seem to be king-size bed, very overstuffed. Looks messy because he obviously just got out of it, but only one half of it seems to be being used at the moment for obvious reasons based on his story. He moves over to basically a cabinet, like a bureau, and starts pulling some stuff out, kind of combs his hair back and combs some of it over his bald spot, and he fits himself with a coat.
Okay.
All right, we should call a town meeting. And he starts going back downstairs.
Ozma just takes a look into his room. Does he see anything strange or out of the ordinary?
Go ahead and roll a investigation.
16.
Nothing seems incredibly out of the ordinary. His closet seems to be full of just basic clothes. There is a spot on the wall that looks like something used to hang there, but it's not hanging there anymore. It's like there's a couple of holes there that looks like were pried out. That's about the only strange thing.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys head back out into the street, and he starts marching towards the town square. There's still a couple of looky-loos kind of like looking at the Van Thorn estate. And he walks up to the half-melted statue, and he pulls out a bell from his person, I guess, and just starts ringing it. And this bell is loud, like way louder than this bell should be. It seems like a handbell, but it's ringing like a gong. So gong, 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 gong.
Sort of like a town crier's bell.
Pretty much. Just super fucking loud.
Hey, hey, hey.
You start to see lights turning on down the streets, and you start to see people wandering out. Some of the people that were already awake are out and about now.
About what time is it?
Oh, it's still dead of night. Like, people should be asleep, and in fact, a lot of them seem pretty grumpy that they're getting up. As the commotion gathers, the crowd's kind of gathering around. The mayor is standing, well, the interim mayor is standing up on the block that the statue is sitting on. Listen, please, there's been another murder. And the commotion starts ringing out from people. Please, listen! We all want to get to the bottom of this as quickly as possible. These ghastly murders can't go on as they have been, and I know that I am not your elected official. But I feel that as I am the only one left. How convenient that is! A couple of people start shouting from the crowd. We need a magistrate. Lyle Van Thorn has been killed. And the crowd starts to fall into a bit of a hush. So while I may not have the full elected power, I hereby pass the title of magistrate and all that comes with it to the Connollys until this crime can be solved and we can have a proper election. The crowd begins to murmur even louder. Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Wolfgang looks over to the mayor. Just like, what?
Here's your badge.
11.
11 on that perception. Anybody else want to?
11.
Another 11.
With another 11 on the side.
Asmo with his snaky eyes. 15.
All right. With the 15 and like with the 11s, basically what you're hearing is, what, the Outlanders? Why would they do that? Yeah, basically you all just kind of hear that there's some dissension in here that's like, why would you give power to these guys? They just came from out of town and nothing has gotten done yet. And actually, I'm going to roll real quick for one thing.
While you're doing that, nudge Wolfgang, Daenerys points to his eyes, points over the crowd, and then taps his hip a couple times. As though to say, look out with your magic eyes to see if you can spot the stone.
That's a pretty... I need Wolfgang to roll an insight on that, and I need you to roll a persuasion on that one.
Okay.
Here we go. 10.
17.
You kind of get what he's talking about. It's like, yeah, maybe it's on somebody. But Osmo, as you're looking through the crowd, you do notice that there is a hooded individual that seems to be staring at you more than at the block. But by the time you... I'd say probably just under 6 feet. but as the crowd is shifting and you're getting bumped around, when you go to get a better look, it's gone.
Okay.
Please, I know this is... We need someone to get to the bottom of this. And if we're going to get through this, we need to trust the people that we brought here to take care of it. I have him roll a persuasion against this crowd, and he actually does pretty well. That's an 18. They start to kind of quiet down, and he tells them basically, like, look, when this is all over, we'll have a proper election. Everything can get back to normal. I just want all of you to stay safe. So please, don't open your door to strangers. Be careful at night. And just listen to the Connollys. Meanwhile, Miguel and Magnus are just kind of looking at each other like, what the fuck? We didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, I sort of... Wolfgang joins in that. He's just sort of, like, shrugging.
Miguel, like, as the mayor steps down and the crowd starts to murmur amongst itself, Miguel kind of grabs the mayor and pulls him in. What's this shit you're pulling now? Look, we don't have a magistrate. We need somebody to take order, and, well, you lot are the only ones here that we brought in to solve this mess, so you just... I need you to do whatever you think is best to fix this, to make this better.
We're not lawmen. We're monster hunters.
And clearly, when there is a monster afoot, then the lawman must be a monster hunter.
It's not a bad play. By making the Connollys the magisters, more than likely it'll shift the assailants' attention to the Connollys. Who better to try to take down a monster than a monster hunter?
That's a good point, actually.
Fair enough. Magnus steps up on the block. All right. As the official magister of this town, I guess.
Magistrate.
Whatever. I demand that all gates be sealed. No one shall enter and no one shall leave until this mess has been solved. That leads to an uproar. See quite a few angrier faces in the crowd. What if you're going to leave us in here with this villain? Yeah, you're just hearing various shouts of protest from the crowd. And he just kind of steps down. And he, like, signals to the guard, go! Seal it! And they kind of scatter off into different directions. And with a little bit of time, the gates are instantly locked. And nobody is getting out of this town or in.
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
And to kind of describe the outline of this town, basically, the buildings that you have been going through are built in kind of a cross formation, and they are all one giant solid block of, like, built stone. Like, you have 4 quadrants of stone that, with, like, some alleyways in there, of course. But the back wall, it's, like, 50 feet high. Gates are all 50 feet high and made out of iron. So you are in just a giant square of space that encapsulates these roads and these buildings.
Okay. Is the crowd, like, just kind of all, like, going away now? They're, like, dispersing a little bit? Like, this sucks.
Some of them have, just to kind of go back to bed and being like, well, I have no power here. What am I going to do? There are some that are really angrily talking amongst themselves, and actually you see Mr. Fezziwig Grinspire, who is also out here. He seems pretty upset about this.
Yeah.
But he's not, like, talking up. He's just kind of standing there, but he looks upset. Meanwhile,
guess-
Sandra and Claire are just kind of hanging out back by the tavern, which is basically in town center.
Asmo's is the temporary mayor still there?
Yeah, he's standing with you, and basically the Connolly brothers, Wolfgang's cousins, have him kind of flanked, and they're looking around, making sure nobody's going to make a move on him.
Asmo's just sitting there and is looking up at the statue that's melted.
It seems to be of a feminine form.
This statue, it's like half melted. Like, what happened to it? Just get too hot one day, and it's made out of something that can't handle the heat.
Oh, well, this was due to a sorcerer some years ago. They lost control of their power, and just a giant fireball erupted right here in the middle of town.
Who is the statue of?
Lady Death, of course.
So the wizard or the magician that caused this, what happened to them?
They were killed in their own explosion.
Okay. What was their name?
Annabelle Fairview.
Wait a minute. Fairview.
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of Sandra, who runs
It
the bar.
is. Yep, the Fairview Tavern.
Annabelle Fairview. Oh my god. Oh, fucking K then. All right.
It was a terrible tragedy. Poor girl just couldn't control herself. And the crowd made it worse.
Was it found out that she was a magician and everyone was attacking her, or what happened exactly?
Oh, it's all happened very fast. I can't say I was there myself. But from what I understand, she was looking to get out, but some of the locals were not happy with that. And well, the whole situation just sort of kind of motions around, and now the renovation on the various bits of the buildings kind of makes a little bit more sense to you. You know.
What about I'm sorry, the Vans. Sorry, I didn't write his name.
Van Thorns.
The Van Thorns.
They didn't have nothing to do with this. I mean, they're as anti-sorcerer as most folk around here, but
I was just trying to. There's something missing from this. These killings are not random, obviously. You know, they're focused on very powerful people.
It seems like they're trying to sow chaos as much as anything.
and that's why I need you folk to get to the bottom of it. That's why I need to give you the power. Whatever you have to do, please find who's responsible.
We will.
I should return home.
Before you do you know of any kind of criminal groups in the city, bandits, anything like that, or any kind of gangs that, or any kind of groups that may take opportune in the government being sent into chaos?
Every town's got its ties with the underworld, but only those with the eye for it can find them. I certainly don't know anyone.
I got you. Much appreciated.
He kind of nods, and Magnus and Miguel nod to each other as Miguel escorts him back to his home. Oh, this is a right mess, Miguel says as the crowd is slowly but surely dispersing.
I'll let Magnus and Miguel, whoever's leaving, before they leave, I let them know that if we find anything, we'll shoot a firebolt up into the air to signal that we found something in our general location in the city.
He
Give
nods.
them a fair warning.
I'll give you a signal if I find anything. Kind of like taps his crossbow at his side.
Understood.
All right, come on, Mr. Mayor. And they kind of wander back to his place. Well, where should we continue this investigation? Magnus looks back at the lot of you.
We have a few routes that we can go. If we know that we know that it had whoever it is, we know what they possess. So we can either look for them, we can look for what they possess, or we can look for the next target.
That's fair enough. I suppose as he's saying this, Mr. Grinspire kind of walks up to him. Excuse me. When you sealed off all the gates, nobody coming or going, I don't suppose you'd make an exception. No. Why? Well, I just recently acquired the amount of money I needed to charter a ride northward to the capital, and I do have an audience there with the Archmage, and I would really like to make it. Look, if you want to get out of here as soon as possible, just stay out of the way of the investigation and help where you can. It's a bit time sensitive, I assure you.
And why is that?
Well, he holds out an envelope. They were very specific that I arrive by a certain time, and you know how the upper echelon can be about those who arrive late. Or I suppose maybe you don't know around here, he says, looking at you, Osmo. Let's just say they don't take kindly if you don't arrive when your invitation is, well, when it states you should.
Is Osmo hearing this?
Yeah, you're part of this group.
If I may be so bold, why not send a message, a pigeon, so on and so forth, up to the capital? Allow them to know that you are assisting in the investigation of murders of their citizens. Certainly, they'd be willing to extend your invitation.
Magnus actually kind of scoffs at that. You boys don't know the Archmage. They really don't. Fezziwig says as he's just kind of like looking back at you guys. Please, it would mean a great deal to me. Can't do it.
Sorry, bud.
The Archmage works directly under the royal family, yes.
Magnus kind of looks at you. The Archmage is the royal family.
Which one? Which one?
The monarch.
Ah. Huh. That might be a problem.
Yeah. Fezziwig just kind of looks back and forth at you.
Why exactly?
It is.
Why exactly do they want to see you?
They want me to perform for the court. And who am I to turn them down, frankly?
You're a guy locked in a city right now, dude.
Yes.
That's who you are right now.
I would like to avoid that if at all possible.
Well, you could be the killer for all we know, so chill. Calm down. Unless you're planning on running as a magistrate, you're okay. Could wrap this today for all we know, and you could be there, and hell, you could ask the mayor to give you a little note about why you were late, and you know, this archmage guy could see it and be, oh, you were late because there was a monster killing everyone.
Yes, sir.
There you go. How do you do a voice without the rasp?
Just, you can see him kind of clenching his fist. Fine, just please solve this with great haste.
I want to insight his entire demeanor to this conversation.
Go ahead.
That's a 4!
He is frustrated.
Oh, yeah. Supreme's pretty worked up.
Seems pretty frustrated. Yeah, he goes back and heads back into the inn, walks past Clara and Sandra, gives a polite bow to them. And they kind of enter with him.
How big of a town are we looking?
This town has a few hundred residents in it. Like, it's not a small town. It is a pretty nicely sized place.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say the place we were just at last was a village. This is a town.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a full-on township. With a nice big fortified walls that seem kind of ridiculously fortified, all things considered, for just some town.
And how tall are the buildings?
The buildings range from anywhere from like 20 to 50 feet near the back end.
Okay.
Which is about the size of the outer wall.
All right, here's what I'm thinking. At the very least, unless they have it warded, we know what we're looking for. If we have to, we could walk up and down the streets with detect magic and attempt to determine exactly where it is. We know exactly what we're looking for. We've seen it in the past. So unless they have it warded, we should be able to pick it up.
Which seems like a fair idea if it weren't for the fact that they also know that we were looking for them.
Yeah, that'd be a little obvious and also pretty time-consuming if we were just to walk up and down the streets.
There's gotta be some sort of clue that we're missing here.
There's a piece missing from this puzzle. It's just
We
a matter
do
of
have,
connect.
we do have the crystals. We could use those as some sort of a dowsing rod, maybe, to get a general location of where they might be hiding out.
That's fair, but would they not be able to do the same for you?
Well, don't we want to find them?
Very much so. What I'm suggesting is, if you know that you can find them based on those things, doesn't that mean that they can try to avoid you using them as well?
That's a good point.
I actually need to go talk to someone real fast, guys.
Osmo walks away. He walks into the tavern. Because Osmo's been deep in thought the entire time.
As you enter the tavern, you see Sandra just kind of comforting Clara. It's okay, dear. There's just so much bad going on out there. And then they look up when they hear that bell ring. And then they calm back down when they notice it's you. Welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back. It's weird. My friend's now the magistrate. He's even weirder. I think he's my friend.
Osmo sits down.
Not to just jump into an awkward conversation, but I gotta ask you 2 quick questions.
Please, go on.
I heard something sad. I asked about the statue outside and why it was melted.
Oh, Clara, dear, would you give us a little bit of... And Clara nods. Of course, Auntie. She goes, just kind of goes off. You're wondering about my daughter. I suppose it was
Annabelle, her name was, right?
Sweetest little thing.
And she was a magician.
Sorcerer. It's not her fault. She was born that way.
Hmm.
She loved to do little light shows for me and her dad. And
Just wanna get to the point. What caused her to be hounded by a mob?
it was only a matter of time, I suppose, until somebody found out through some mean or another. She must have slipped up somewhere, let something slip.
Mm-hmm. Who found out?
I don't know. But when they found out, she ran back here, and she was so scared, and the only thing that we could do was try to get her out of town, so I gave her what I could, and they found her on the way out, and she couldn't control it. It was just too much. I could still hear her scream. There was nothing I could do to help her.
I'm gonna do a very tragic insight on this.
Go ahead.
Ah, it's a 4. Son of a bitch.
It's obviously a very, very painful memory.
The other question was, who arrived first? Your cousin or
You mean my nephew? Or my niece? I'm sorry.
What? Insight that.
No, that was just me slipping.
Damn it. Okay.
Sorry.
Damn it. It's a 3 anyways.
your niece or Fezziwig? Who
No,
arrived first?
My niece. She came in about a month or so ago.
And that's around when the first killing started, right?
No, it wasn't for a little while after that.
Killing started a little bit after.
Yeah, that was about the time Mr. Grinspire came in.
He seemed really adamant to leave. How adamant was he that he wanted to leave when he first got here?
He was all about just... Sorry. He was all about just making that money to make his trip up north. He was real excited last night when you gave him that gold and he finally got the amount that he needed. I guess he's going to be sticking around for a bit, huh?
He's not a happy camper about it.
No, I don't suppose he would be, but
You
then
can't
again, you
leave.
don't like to upset the Archmage. Not if you can help it.
That's true. I hope we'll wrap it today, if not tomorrow. My team's good.
You got anybody that you're following?
Following right now. Suspects?
Yeah.
Got a couple.
I won't ask too much. I don't want to get in the middle of nothing.
No. There's no worries. You ever meet your... Is this the first time you ever met your niece when she got here?
Well, it's been years, but no.
Okay. Sorry I always pester you. I'm sorry for bringing up what happened to your daughter. It's pretty messed up, but I'm surprised you stayed in the town like this. After what they did to your daughter, you stick around and even bring more family here.
I ain't got nowhere else to go. This business is all we got. I don't know if you know this, but it's not exactly a fruitful land.
It's chilly.
That's for sure. Osmond just adjusts his cloak to signify how how cold it is outside.
You're from the south, ain't you?
Yeah. Southwest.
I figured.
I don't mean to keep you up here, but just so you know, be careful and don't lose track of your niece tonight. Keep her close. I've reason to believe the killer might start targeting other things to get at.
You think we're in danger too?
I think everyone in this town's in danger. The killings were targeted, but it could be just trying to sow some discontent. Keep her close and don't lose sight of her. If I can suggest anything, do just that.
You're a kind soul, sir.
I'm a soul. The situation calls to be kind.
Asmo gets up and heads outside back to where the guys were.
She just kind of sits there quietly. What have you guys... meanwhile, let's cut back to... in the interim, what have you guys been up to?
Wolfgang was going to suggest to... sort of split up and re-examine both of the corpses.
Okay, so you've been having this conversation. Where is it that you have determined that Magnus should head, and where is it that you have determined that you guys should head?
I think Magnus and Miguel should.
Miguel is with Darren Fjord.
Oh, right. Well, Magnus should go check. What was his name? Bjorn Pilton was the first victim that we saw.
Yeah, he's the guy that you found when you came into town.
Yeah, they should go re-examine Bjorn Pilton, and we are going to re-examine the magistrate.
He kind of agrees to that as Osmo walks out of the door.
Osmo,
Yeah.
we're going to check the magistrate in this house again. I feel like there's something we may have missed.
Absolutely. Need me to run guard, take a look, give it the old snake pass.
Well, a third set of eyes is probably going to be helpful.
Yeah.
Osmo then just gives him a weird look and then says,
So,
"You want to cause that while we're walking away from the statue?"
the one who did all that damage was our innkeeper's daughter. So I wanted to go check out. That's a stretch, but I mean, if it was certain people in town who caused that from happening, I wouldn't put it past revenge. Grief. Trust me, I completely understand why people would want revenge. But it's hard to say one way or the other why they're doing it. There's just a connection missing. This feels personal somehow. But I don't know how. It's driving me nuts.
It seems like they're doing this to try and sow chaos throughout the town, and well, it's working.
Yeah. They go for the mayor, then the magistrate, then the replacement magistrate.
And also, they just Asmo just kind of turns to the two.
We killed Fjord's son, didn't we?
Yeah.
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 Technically, it wasn't us. It was it.
Technically, it wasn't it. It was Wolfgang's gun. The kid flew across a wall, smacked into a wall, and fell on a bed.
You say all this as you walk across town, and
I am whispering this very quietly in his ear. That's why I was like, I whisper to him.
yeah, no, you're making like small, casual, hushed conversation as you're wandering. You make it back to the home. The door's been closed, but you still have it unlocked, and you can go in. Nothing has triggered your alarm yet, Denier, so.
Okay.
But you are starting to get tired, as you have been up for quite some time now.
All right. Let's just do this re-examination, give the house a thorough searching, and then we should probably go to bed.
All right, where would you like to examine in this house? You have the study, the bedroom, which is locked, the washroom, and the upper landing where the body was found. And with your nat 20, you feel like you found everything of consequence up there, but...
Okay, so the door was locked. The front door was locked when we got here. So how did it get in? That's the first thing we need to determine. We know he exited through a window.
Maybe that's how he got in.
Possible.
Though on the second story, it'd be a little tricky. They'd have to be a swell climber or have the ability of flight. I'm not sure how common that is. I can do it. Not sure what else would. Doesn't sound... Maybe it is.
It's not.
I wouldn't know that vampires could polymorph into bats, right?
You'd know this, yeah.
Yeah. If it is a vampire, they can transform into bats. I wouldn't be shocked.
But can't vampires only come in if they're invited?
I would know that's just superstition as well, right?
You believe that to be superstition. Frankly, there's a lot of things about vampires out there that some people claim that others do not.
There's a lot of misunderstandings about vampires and the undead. Garlic being invited, crossing running water, all of that's nonsense as far as I gather.
For the most part, they're just feral humans, unless they are intelligent.
Too much garlic kills only one thing: your taste buds.
That's true. Right, we need to get to the bottom of this. I think we've covered the upper landing head to toe. I don't think there's anything else for us up there. There was signs of the crystal reacting to something, though I may think it's just residual energy from the crystal dagger reacting to our crystals, because we went and exhumed the first victim's body, and the crystal didn't react to that.
Judging from the
I'm sorry.
Oh,
No,
it's
it just
fine.
makes sense. We're walking through a town. It's actually like you see
Yeah, there's a
on
dog
the
out there.
distance. Yeah.
Ah, yes. Gentle dog ambiance. Say hello to Sherman, everybody.
But is there anywhere that you would like to investigate in this home?
I've got a question. Judging
Sure.
from the layout, the way the house looks from the outside, can I make an intelligence check to, judging from what I've seen on the inside, is there any point where it looks smaller on the inside than it does on the outside? Like, say, for example, secret rooms or anything like that.
That would be a perception check.
Okay. 14.
Nothing seems out of the ordinary. I mean, you haven't seen the bedroom, and you haven't really examined...
So she's still in the bedroom.
Yeah. She's in the bedroom, and I've got the door warded.
Well, then go knock. Gotta go talk to her. Maybe she'll actually talk with you. She's a pleasant person.
Was he saying that he's going to do that, or that I should do that?
You should do that. She's a regular old ray of sunshine.
Yeah, I'm the one that talked to her whenever we first found her.
Good.
She got a little bit grumpy.
Well, her lover just died, so. Asmo just does the, duh.
Yeah,
kind of
no.
reaction. You know, she's going to be in a frumpy mood for a while.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'd say we save that for last if we have to.
Yeah, I think we should all do that.
I'm going to start looking around the lower levels.
All right, down here you have what looks to be a small dining area, and this first room looks like it's just kind of a casual lounging area, and then he has his study, and that's about it on the bottom level.
I'll check the study.
All right, go ahead and roll an investigation in the study.
All right. It's an 8.
Yeah, you find the various work papers, various things about petty crimes around town. Obviously, there's some stuff on his desk about the current murders, but
Mm-hmm.
Nothing on there that seems to be, at least to you, out of the ordinary from what you've already learned.
Mm-hmm. Any windows, anything like that?
Not in the study.
Okay. Because it's Denier, what kind of books does he have? Does he have any books in his study?
I'll let you roll a second investigation check just for that.
11?
He has various books on the law. He has books on swordsmanship, some books on magic, lots of books on magic, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah, various unlabeled books.
Mm-hmm. A lot of books on magic. Anything that particularly strikes Denier? Specifically, like
Not with an 11.
abjuration or anything? Okay. Fair enough. Denier's going to return. I didn't find anything too out of the ordinary. Guy's got a lot of magic books, so I'm intrigued.
Besides the upper landing and his study and the bedroom, what other rooms were there again?
It's pretty much just a washroom in the bedroom. And there's a small dining room, but that looks relatively untouched.
I'm gonna look in the washroom just to see.
All right, there's basically what looks to be a hole in the floor with a slat down the bottom of it that seems to lead into an alleyway. If you close the lid, the breeze doesn't come through. There's a mirror there with a bowl next to it that has some water in it, and there's a orb next to that bowl. There's a razor, straight razor. Looks to be a shaving kit, basically. And a towel, like a couple of towels just kind of folded by the area there.
So really nothing unusual.
Not really. Looks very nice, but body's still there, not decomposing at all. It's just sitting there, eyes open. Tongue cut in half. I need you all to make a con save. Well, except for Osmo. Osmo's the only one that's gotten any sleep.
Oh wow, what? Okay.
Natural one.
All right, you give out a big yawn, and for the rest of the evening until you get some sleep, you're rolling at a disadvantage.
Okay.
Oh damn.
I got a 10.
Wolfgang, you begin to feel a little bit drowsy too. You are officially fatigued as well.
Fuck.
You guys are looking a little bit tired. When was the last time you both slept?
It's been a while.
Feels like yesterday. Maybe 2 days ago at this point. Hard to say with the way the patterns go around here.
I do know it's been a while. Let's just... Maybe the lady's calmed down after all of this. Let's go check on her real quick and then we'll get out of here.
Tell you what, Asmo, you've got a way with words. You can talk to her this time.
Oh, God.
Says the sleepy kitty.
Oh, boy, this person. Okay.
Asmo just kind of cracks his neck.
Take me to her room.
Yeah, you get up to the top there. You see the corpse.
Jesus Christ.
Asmo just like, well, like, sorry, I shouldn't say Jesus Christ. He's not a character in this
By
world.
the gods.
Ooh, by all the sacraments and by this advice in the name of Snake God. The great snaky god in the sky, my God.
Yeah, Denier just, as he's scratching his neck and yawning, he just kind of points to the door.
Just knocks on it that way.
You hear some shuffling in there. Who's there?
It's us.
What do you lot want?
Ask you some questions so you can actually get some rest.
I was getting some rest.
Yeah, but we want the rest too, so please.
You just kind of hear her voice on the other side of the door. What do you want to know?
When you came home last night, did you lock the door?
Of course.
Okay. I turned to the guys. None of the windows on the ground level were open, right?
I don't think so, no.
Didn't look like it.
The only window that was open was the one on the upper landing.
Now, how the heck did he get in here?
Isn't that what you're trying to figure out?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out, ma'am. 1 second.
We're more talking amongst ourselves, ma'am.
We are trying to make best. We're trying to create a. Oh wait, what do they call it? A timeline.
Yeah.
All right, how long were you home before what happened happened?
Well, we got home. Spent our time unwinding, and I went to bed before he did. He decided that he wanted to work in his study for a time, and I heard some noises, and I came to investigate, and
When you went downstairs to when you heard the noises, how much time do you think went by, best estimation?
I had been asleep. I don't know how long.
Okay, that's fair. That's
And
fair.
these sounds were coming from the upper landing?
Yes, where you found him.
One second. I'm actually thinking I'm racking my own brain right now.
Thonking?
I'm thonking right now, Connor.
So, ma'am, I realize this is your bedroom.
It is now.
Well, whose was it before? Was it his?
She's just kind of like dumbfounded, like, you know you're in his house.
Ma'am, I haven't gotten sleep in around a day and a half.
Maybe you should. It'll probably be better for you.
Well, we'd like to take a look around the room, if that's all right with you.
We need to take a look around the room.
The only way we're going to get to the bottom of this as quickly as possible is if we have all of the information.
There could be absolutely nothing in the room, but that means we can cross it off the list of things we need to look at.
All right, go ahead and yeah, she just unlocks the door.
Before they enter the room, I modify the alarm spell so that they will not trigger it either, or myself.
All right.
Good catch. I was waiting for that to go off.
It would only have gone off in his head. Yeah, she lets you in. It's a dark room, but you all have night vision, so you can kind of see the bed is less luxurious than Mr. Fjord's, but it's still of decent size. There's obviously been a lot of tossing and turning in this one this evening. There's a bureau off to the side with, you're guessing his clothes inside of it, but nothing in the bedroom seems to be out of place.
Yeah, can I ask you a couple quick questions real fast while we're here looking around?
What's that?
Who do you think hated the old mayor, the magister, and now him?
And gestures down the hallway.
A lot of them hate.
What the fuck? Dude, don't drop that shit there, man.
Sorry, I'm tired.
Yeah, you kind of just knocked over a vase, and she kind of looks back. A lot of them didn't like Fjord.
Oh, that's very obvious. But Fjord... Did Fjord have a problem with someone called Annabelle Fairview?
No.
Okay.
He was always soft on them magic bloods.
Oh, he was soft on him. How so?
He doesn't think that we should just kill him on sight.
I mean...
Damn it.
Yeah, another thing gets broken. She's now upset.
Holy shit, Wolfgang!
Can I help you?
I begin casting Mending.
My knocking things over on my desk has no bearing on in-game.
It does now.
He was always soft on him. So when the Annabelle incident happened, I'm guessing he did not take well to it.
He didn't speak up much, none. The rest of us knew it needed to be done.
By rest of you, do you...
The town.
Who were the loudest voices?
I suppose my husband. And the magister at the time. Mr. Pilton.
And the mayor?
Well, my husband was the mayor.
Well, how about that?
Look, if something happens in your town and people are in danger, you stand up for it. Like you lot should be standing up right now.
I'm just waiting for Wolfgang to knock some more shit over.
Yeah. Please stop.
Please don't. I'm still trying to fix this.
Yeah, you're just kind of mending things. Sorry.
Don't you know the mending spell? Jesus.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
All right, good lad.
No. Thank you for telling me that. It actually makes a fair amount of sense.
Have you found what you've looking for?
We haven't found anything really that we're looking for in connection to what could have hurt him. You gave me some interesting information that may factor in somehow.
I've got one final question for you from at least my side.
You say yawning.
Yeah. The
As you
person
as
that
you
you
set
saw,
the vase back up on the shelf.
Yeah, put it back on there. Make sure it's steady. There we go.
Wolfgang just mutters I'm sorry.
She kind of like rolls her eyes at you and looks back to Denier.
The build of the person that you saw: tall, short, thin, thick, stocky. You know.
She's gonna try to remember.
It's important you tell us this.
I don't remember. They were hunched over.
Over
They were hunched over poor Lyle, and all I could do was scream, and then they just opened the window and left.
It's okay.
You didn't hear anything out of the ordinary, did you?
Well, it woke me up. The sounds, the shifting, and
No specific sounds at all?
just that crunching.
Crunching.
Asmodus looks at Denier.
the limbs.
Did they happen one after another or all at once? The sounds, I mean.
Gonna check to see if she remembers. It was... I remember being woken up by the shifting of something outside, one of the creaking of floorboards. I thought it was just him coming up, but then I heard the sickening crunching, and that's when I went to investigate. That's all I remember. Just please let me be.
It was just the one, right? It wasn't two
To what?
people. Did you see one or two?
It was just one.
Okay.
Last action
It's
for this
just-
scene from Denier. Denier's going to alarm the window, and then he's done.
Alright, you cast alarm on the window and you head out. The door locks behind you again.
Well, I don't know about Wolfgang Erasmo, but that's for Denier.
Yeah, Wolfgang's gonna... Wolfgang doesn't usually act that clumsy, so he's thinking maybe I should get some sleep.
Maybe bed.
All right.
On the walk back, As was just kind of muttering to himself.
So, the one person who was kind to the magic folk is the one who's not being targeted. And the same person whose son ended up being seduced by one of those crystals. The daughter of the one magic user who was killed is the daughter of the innkeeper who has a niece who's currently staying with them for the last month. A few days later, the killing started.
A few weeks later.
A few weeks later, the killing started. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up with all
Your
the facts,
timeline
man.
is very important for this.
A few weeks started. However, a few days after that, after the performing bard showed up, the killing started as well. The person is a man. However, his cloak is had illusion magic on it. Is that pretty much the up and up? And the weapon they're using is a magical knife that drains the blood out of their victims, and they tie their tongue to look like the roots of the he can't believe he's saying it, of the freaking bleeding god.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You guys make your way back over to the inn. If I'm assuming you're heading to bed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I alarmed the door and the windows.
How many of those can you have up at a time?
That's a good
Ritual
question.
spells.
All right.
It's not concentration though.
Nope, just a duration of 8 hours.
Okay.
Holy fuck.
Wait, you said doors and windows to your room or to the bar?
To our room.
Okay.
I can do the bar, but that's just gonna be dumb because I'm gonna get woken up every 5 minutes.
Makes sense. All right. And you guys lay down, pondering on this one. And here's where we will take a break. All right, so you guys lay down your heads. Denier, you've cast alarm on the door and the window. And you guys finally try to get some rest as the questions just keep spinning in your head. The possibilities, the connections, just everything feels like it's starting to come together, but you're still not sure exactly how. And you're awoken in the middle of the night, Denier. There's a flash through your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to make a perception check as you open your eyes.
Okay. Perception 9.
Your eyes are still adjusting.
Are we all in the same room, by the way?
Yes. You are all in 3 different cots, kind of in like this is a 4-cot room, and you're in 3 of them. Hold on, let me pull up something here. Three, okay.
Really wish I had taken the sudden awakening spell right about now.
Sure would be great, wouldn't it? Plus that. Osmo, you're awoken equally as forcefully as 12 damage slices across your chest.
Shit!
And Denier, just as your eyes adjusted, you see that there's a shape there, a hooded shape next to Osmo. And I need you, Wolfgang, you would have been awoken by Osmo's fuck! And I need you all to roll initiative. Wolfgang with disadvantage. Wolfgang and Osmo with disadvantage.
Oh, shit. Fuck.
7.
11.
Roll with disadvantage,
Natural.
by the way.
Yeah, 21.
21, not bad.
10.
All right, and this guy is surprised that you're alive, so he's actually going pretty damn slow. As this shrouded figure sits above Osmo, like knife in hand, he seems to have missed his target.
I rolled over in my sleep.
Yep. Wolfgang, it is your turn as you see this man hunched over Osmo, knife in hand. As you roll out of bed.
Fuck. Okay. Just without thinking, immediate reaction as soon as I wake up and see this guy with a knife over Asmo, just guiding bolt, just right towards him.
All right. Go ahead and fire it.
15?
That matches. That'll hit.
Oh,
Woo!
nice.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah, I accidentally clicked off of it.
Oh, it's all good.
Oh.
19 radiant damage.
Damn. Yeah, this dude gets lit up. Just. And guiding bolt makes him glow when it hits him.
And I assume it would make them glow. Yeah. Guiding bolt. Why is it not? There it is. On a hit, the target takes 46 radiant damage, and the next attack roll made against this target has advantage.
All right. Well, this guy, as the bolt flies forth, this man in the black cloak just gets lit up. And Asmo, as you look up, you see a milky eye staring down at you. It looks like that same figure that was staring at you from the crowd. And with that, it is now Asmo's turn.
Oh, fun, because Asmo's gonna grapple the son of a bitch.
All right, go ahead and make a strength check.
Asmo gets up and just roll a strength check. That's a 9.
All right, as you're trying to grab him, he pushes you back and away. And just kind of stands up and starts to weigh his options. As he looks left and right, he throws down a ball, and the room goes pitch black.
The room goes pitch black. What?
Yep.
Oh, so is it a magical blackness we're looking into right now?
You can't see through it, and you have dark vision, so you're guessing.
It's true.
And Denier, your turn.
Okay, knowing the room, I'm going for the window. Suspecting that he has one of two routes, I'm trying to head him off at the window.
Yep, you did hear some commotion. You get to the window, but it's like dead silent in here now.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How far out? Still at the window, it's completely dark?
Still completely dark.
Okay. I'm going to use my action. Okay, I'm at the window. Is the window open or closed?
First of all, I want you to make a intelligence check to see if you can, or a wisdom check to see if you can find where the window is in this darkness.
18.
Yeah, you're able to find it, and feeling it's open. You can feel cold air blowing in.
Okay. I'm going to... Is it a action or a free action to close a item?
I'd say it's... I'd say you could use the rest of your move action to do it.
Okay. Then I'm going to close it.
All right, the
Mage
wind
armor,
stops
and
blowing in.
block off the window.
Okay. Wolfgang, your turn again.
All right, well, this worked before. I'm going to cast light.
Yep, as your magical light penetrates the magical darkness, you are in a empty room. Osmo is like clutching at a bleeding wound on his chest as he is like staring around. There's nobody else in this room with you.
Is he gone?
Can I see?
Yeah.
Thing is, did your alarm go off?
Did it?
Yeah, that's what woke you up.
Yeah. But by the time I woke up, he was already in here. Is the door open?
It's closed for the sake of, being ajar or anything.
Okay.
If you check it, you'll know that it's still locked from the inside.
Okay. Yeah, he came into the window.
We're on the second story, right?
Yes.
How the fuck did he get up here?
I think might have been our culprit. Maybe he knows we're onto him.
Did he? What was the color of his blade?
Did I see the color of his blade?
No, you were woken up by it.
No.
Let me check your wound.
What color did it feel like?
Yeah, it's dark, and with your guys' dark vision, all you can see is black and white, so gray.
Yeah,
Damn.
I'm gonna go over and check Asmo's wound. Is it bleeding?
Yes.
Huh. Maybe not.
Maybe he saves it for the good one, for the real kills.
Hmm.
Son of a
Maybe.
bitch.
Maybe. And I use healing light on him.
All right, go ahead and roll that or use that.
Heal.
8. He healed
Oh,
8
I'll
damage.
Oh, I'll take that. Damn.
Yeah, your wound begins to heal up. Unfortunately, you weren't even wearing your armor since you were sleeping, so.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Damn it.
But on the plus side, your armor isn't damaged.
That is true.
He had a milky eye.
Milky eye.
Yeah, one of his eyes. I saw it. Underneath his cloak. One of his eyes was blind. He couldn't see.
What eye was it, Nick?
I believe it was the right eye.
His right eye.
Right eye. Did it look like it had a scar over it or something?
In the middle of the moment, would I have noticed that?
Go ahead and give a perception check. I'll let you do it post fact.
With
It w-
advantage.
It went by too quickly, and it was like even with dark vision, it was still dark, and he had a hood on. You caught the eye though. The eye was the first thing that you caught.
Through my investigations in the past, would I have at least heard of any organizations that have assassins? I do also have Watcher's Eye.
What does Watcher's Eye do?
Your experience in enforcing the law and dealing with lawbreakers gives you a feel for local laws and criminals.
I think we've been playing that you have more knowledge for monsters. Like is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, that's fair. Could I roll a history or something?
Yeah, sure.
All right. 19.
You know that there is a guild of assassins out there. You know they are called the Deadeyes. And after learning about what happened to your grandfather, you believe they were responsible for his death.
Would I know?
There's an organization of assassins out there called the Deadeyes, but I feel like that's a little bit on the nose.
Wolfgang.
Asmo's completely quiet the second you say that.
What's that, Denier?
He's Denier's standing blocking the window. Check the room with your eyes. He might be invisible.
I use my special eyes.
Your special eyes, your brand.
My brand.
No human-shaped predator vision or anything like that. Nothing seems to be sticking out. Just the normal magic items you guys typically had on you.
Nothing.
He must have gotten to the window before I could. Damn. He came in through the window. Must have got out before I could get to it, unfortunately.
Osmo,
What?
I'm gonna need you to be honest with me.
What?
Are you being hunted by anyone? Would someone have put out an assassination order on you?
It depends.
You hear some commotion out in the hallway.
Oh, shit.
Asmo grabs his sword. Kicks open the door.
Yeah, no, the door gets knocked on. Hello? I heard some... Is everything all right in there? You hear the voice of Sandra.
We're all right.
We're fine. We're fine.
There's a bubble of darkness out here.
Oh. Shit. Do we have an excuse for this? Do we?
Like Asmo's gesturing to the two of them.
Unless you want to say you accidentally used one of your scrolls, no.
I think we might have had a minor malfunction of a magical device in here. Nothing was destroyed. Nothing was broken. It's just a little inconvenient and hard to see in here now, but it should fade away in about an hour, maybe.
Go ahead and roll deception.
And I kind of scrape myself in the middle of it.
11.
Well, okay. Just if you need anything, please don't feel shy to holler, okay? And you kind of hear her footsteps creaking away.
Sure thing. Have a good night. Turns back to Asmo. So what does it depend on?
Asmo just kind of looks away. Asmo doesn't want to answer.
Look,
Yeah, Asmo answers with ellipses. Seriously.
Look, I realize you don't exactly trust us, and that's fine. The feeling's mutual. But we need to work together if we're going to find out what's going on in this town. And if you're being hunted by a league of assassins, that's going to throw a wrench in our plans. So please, if you've got anything you feel like sharing, now's the bloody time.
Fuck. The reason why I was outside of Amberglade was because I took a job many months back. Me and my gang. There's a group of us. And we took a gig. It was to run protection for something. You know, you're not given the details. Ran protection. It wasn't just us, there was a couple other gangs too. Something mowed through us. I didn't get a good sight on the thing, but it chopped right through everybody like it was mincemeat. No one could defend against this thing. I don't know even who hired us for the job. You know, an intermediary through an intermediary, all that crap, but whatever it was, I threw down my swords and I ran. And I left my gang behind and they died. It was too late anyways.
And now you're the only witness left. Perfect.
Possibly. I don't know if anyone else lived or not. I just ditched town, and I traveled as far south as I could. Southeast. I've never really left the town before. And you called them the Deadeyes? Right.
From what I gathered, I don't really know a lot about them, just their name and their prerogative.
Just know the people who join them are pieces of garbage. Worst of the worst. No morality, not a care in the world, and they'll stab you in the back no matter how long you've been their friend. If you ever don't trust me, just know I'm not Deadeye material.
Well, if they're trying to kill you, I assume.
I don't know why they'd be trying to kill me unless they were the ones who hired me for that job. Again, I don't know. You go through an intermediary for most of this crap. I don't know why they'd be trying to kill me right now. Doesn't make a lick of sense. We're in the middle of goddamn nowhere. If I was in town, if we were in the capital, it would have made more sense. But we're in the middle of bumfuck nowhere up north. It doesn't make a lick of sense why they're trying to hit me here.
That's true. The area is already pretty hot with criminal activity as it is. It doesn't make sense. Why now?
I don't know.
I have a theory.
Let's hear it.
So back when we were in Darkspire, the goblins.
You mean Dark Launch?
Yeah, Dark Launch. Back when we were in Dark Launch, there was a. He was talking about runners. And after we left Dark Launch, Asmo, you had that shiny new dagger.
Yeah.
Any
Asmo
chance
just pulls
they
out
could
the dagger.
Any chance they could be coming after you because of that?
Now they could just steal the dagger and not try to kill me.
How did you get it?
Stole it. There's a
Oh,
box out back. Why? It's just there was 2 boxes, and I got into one of them. And that's how I got the dagger. And that story.
And then Asma remembers the story.
What? How much details? How many details did we get from
The
Tom
story.
recalling that story to us?
Roll intelligence, because this is just a story you were listening to.
12.
Yeah, you remember the basic details, the basic plot points of it.
You don't think it was that one guy, do you?
What do you say his name? What do you say his name was again?
Shit.
Unless you as a person know Osmo, you wouldn't remember.
I mean, I remember.
Yeah, you would.
I
But you also rolled under a 10.
I know.
Sounds like
I
a piece
know.
of shit,
That's
if
why-
you ask me.
That's why I'm playing dumb. I don't
Sounds
know.
like a son of a bitch.
I heard he's got a 12-pack that he shredded.
I heard his name is Big Dick Daring. Donkey Dick Daring.
Cock McStuffins.
He's got a new elf name.
The Lady Annihilator. I don't know.
Johnny Badman. This is about as much as you can come up with.
It makes more sense to try and nick it off me, not kill me. Unless... Dead eyes.
Now, I mean, Asmo's been in the underworld. He knows about the Dead Eyes. He hasn't heard about them in a while, though. And you know why. He thinks about
Yeah.
them. Is this something they would do if you steal from them? They fucking kill you?
They certainly like to leave a message.
Oh, shit.
They are
Yeah.
assassins, after all.
Yeah, I think I stole something of theirs. Ah, fuck.
Wolfgang sort of rubs his temple a little bit. Well, this complicates things.
Oh, yeah, so this... For a second, I thought this was connected. Looks like this is separate.
Oh, great. Now we're dealing with 2 assassins.
Nothing else seems to happen throughout the rest of the night as you wind your way back down.
I'll re-put up my alarms, please.
Yeah, do you guys want to maintain a watch?
Asmo will take the first watch.
Yeah.
Works out. You're still kind of tending your wounds.
Yep. When they all go to sleep, I start licking them.
Ugh. So's gross goes going on. My nightmares.
I want.
Yellow.
All right. Osmo, make a perception check as you're keeping watch. The darkness eventually fades, and you can finally see out the window.
That's a 12.
Yeah, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary as your time passes. You wake up. Who do you want on second watch?
I kick Wolfgang's boot and go back to sleep.
All right, Wolfgang. Osmo wakes you up and kind of crack your neck and do your stretches. Set up a chair next to the window.
Okay. Just basically, I'll summon Requiem and I'll give it a cleaning while I'm waiting.
You tune up your gun. Give a perception check with disadvantage.
A natural 1.
Nothing out of the ordinary. Your gun sure is looking pretty good, though.
That's all that matters.
The guy makes a gun-shaped shadow behind the gun.
Just doing charades behind Wolfgang's gun, just making an L shape with his body.
What could only be described as a 90s Disney film level of shenanigans are happening.
The horizon starts to glow a bit pink as your designated watch time is ending. Yeah. Decide that it'd still be good for you to get a full night's sleep, so.
Yeah.
You kick Denier, or you jostle him awake. And Denier, you take watch. How would you like to take watch?
Denier will stealth, and he will hide in the room and watch.
All right, gonna hide in the corner of the room. Go ahead and roll stealth.
I'm imagining Denier on top of the
Natural 20.
Can I? Oh man, no, sorry, you're the GM. Sorry,
Yeah, he is. Denier, you are literally just like you got your claws out and you are in the top corner of the room, just kind of holding up there, Spider-Manning.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
You are well hidden there.
And I mentally work on my spells while I keep an eye out. Windows, to the floors, to the doors. I'm watching out for this guy.
All right, perception.
Okay, perception. 11.
No. Just a normal evening as the sun starts to rise in a rather rapid succession. You feel like it's been enough time and you decide to wake everybody up.
Oi! You lot. Come on.
Yeah, you start hearing bells going off downstairs and realize, oh, people are coming in for the day. It's probably about time to get up.
Wakey, wakey, eggs, and get the hell up.
I like eggs.
Asmo just gets up.
When they get up, he is still clinging to the ceiling.
It's good. That's good guarding there.
Yeah, you drop back down to the ground.
I just imagine you with just your claws in the in the roof.
Yeah, just eyes pitching back and forth.
You see a ghost or something?
No. I was the ghost. Ain't nobody getting in here with me on watch.
Right.
By the way, I'm all healed up then, right?
Yeah, you would have healed up the rest of the damage that you have taken, and everybody gets their spells and abilities back.
Excellent.
What would you like to do this day?
Put on armor.
Yes, you suit yourself up. Your chest is still a little tender, but it seems even though there's a bit of a scar there, it's you've wrapped some bandages around it, and it seems to be doing all right.
The One Piece method of healing.
Yes. These band-aids will fix you.
It's true. Remember, Zoro cut his legs off practically and just bandaged up his feet, and they were fine 2 days later.
Yup, that's how it works.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Okay.
As you make your way downstairs, Sandra's in the process of opening the bar. Clara is has moved all the chairs off the tables so people can sit down. Some people are in here enjoying a small meal. It seems to be about midday.
Point to Asmo. Only eat what you make yourself.
What? Oh, shit. I'm bad at making food.
Only eat what you make yourself. Only drink from sources that you trust.
Clara waves at you. You're coming down. Good morning.
Good morning, Clara.
Any, Auntie said that there was a bit of an accident up there. Everything okay?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna be great. Thank you for worrying, though.
She smiles and keeps going about her business.
Hey, where did you live before coming here, like last month? Don't mind me asking.
Oh, well, I lived over in, I lived over by Berg.
I'm not familiar with that place. I'm from far away.
Oh, well,
Was it Berg,
sorry.
BRG?
Yeah, BERG.
BERG.
It's a town off to the northeast.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, northwest. Sorry, I'm looking at my map.
West. Okay.
Decided to come work for your auntie.
Well, she was getting powerful lonesome after everything that happened. I thought she needed somebody, you know. This place is pretty big on its own. And, well, nothing much was happening for me up there, so thought I'd come down and see if I could make it the way she did.
Makes sense. Didn't weird you out that the murder started like a couple of weeks after you get here.
I mean, it's scary, of course. We live in a scary world.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. Hey, can you make me eggs, but can I watch you make them?
That's the end of me.
He's got a particular diet, and he's got some allergies, and he
I
has to
just
make
want-
sure the wrong thing doesn't go in there.
I'd also just love to see you cook.
She kind of, go ahead and roll persuasion, actually.
Dang it. Okay. 14. Okay, not bad.
She actually blushes a little and kind of like waves you off. Oh, you. Santa's
Yeah.
like, sorry, nobody's allowed back in the kitchen except staff.
Ooh.
Fuck.
I guess it's rations today.
Asmo pulls out a ration stick and just eats some jerky.
Actually, I've got
She's gonna roll an insight real quick on you guys.
Ah, what?
The fact that you're unwilling to eat at this establishment might seem a little off. Trying to figure out what to roll against here.
Denier
I get-
will order food.
Okay.
Wolfgang will order food as well.
In that case, she's not going to see it as anything other than just a little bit of disrespect, I guess.
Duh, disrespect.
Yeah. She goes up, she asks what you'd like, she then goes back to prepare whatever it is.
Steak and eggs.
Yeah.
I got something for you. Denier reaches into his pack, and he brings out the anana that he's been keeping for a few days.
Oh, los anana.
No.
It's definitely looking a little wilted now.
You want
'Cause
to?
you got that back when you were in the cave.
Yeah.
You could probably start making rum out of this.
If you want it, I can cut it up for you.
I'm okay.
She looks at it. It's looking like real squishy. I'll pass, thanks.
Okay.
That's a damn shame the Anana went bad.
You can still do some good things with it even after it's a bit off.
Would we know if you could turn it into part of the muffin for banana muffins?
I would say that the juice might be useful for such an endeavor. Maybe.
Slightly fermented anana muffins.
What about anana bread?
Now you're just being crazy.
Yeah, they don't have steak, but they do have eggs. So they do come back with some eggs for you. And Denier, I guess they just give you a bowl of oatmeal.
Okay. That's fair enough.
So what's the plan today?
That's the question. Now we have 2 people to look for.
No, we're looking for one guy and we're looking out for another guy. Let's be real here.
Yeah, fair enough.
The bell rings at the door, and another elf gentleman, full-blooded, walks in. Seems to have kind of like a short haircut, like hair trimmed in on the sides, slightly long in the back. Seems to be a small strand of black hair leading down their back.
It's not a Fezziwig.
Nope. Different guy. Seems a little shorter, and his face is a little rounder.
Okay.
Oh, a lot of commotion going on out there.
Was he saying that to just kind of everyone at the table?
Yeah, just in general, just to the room in general. Oh, seems to have missed quite a bit last night.
Indeed.
Oh. New faces in town and everything. Hello. He comes and joins, sits by you guys. Morning, Hack. Can we get you anything? Oh, looks down at that bowl of oatmeal. Yep. I'll have some of that. That smells good. Coming up.
Sorry, what was your name again?
Oh, sorry. Hackless. Kind of
Hackless?
holds that. Yeah, Hackless. Hacklass.
H-A-C-K. So he can't be hacked. I see.
Yeah, he's a Hacklass.
Hacklas.
Pleasure to meet you. You guys don't look like you're from around here.
No, we're from down south.
Yeah. That's about right. Yeah, so the gates are all closed off now, huh? It's
Yeah, by order of the Connolly's.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate bit of business, but seems like it might be necessary if we're to catch whoever's doing all these killings.
well, as long as whoever it is gets brought in, everything should be good, I guess. I don't know. Not many people out there very happy right now.
I imagine not. Better unhappy than dead, I suppose.
Too true, too true.
I'm gonna look at this guy's cloak.
In what regard?
Does it resemble at all the piece of cloak that I found at the last murder scene?
It is a dark, tattered cloak.
Roll for is he murderer?
Yeah, yes. Roll for murderer.
Roll for murder. Murder.
Murder?
Well, the piece of cloak that I got was dark and sort of tattered, but I guess that's because it got ripped off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Detect Magic real quick.
This guy lights the fuck up.
What school?
He's got a bunch of schools on him. Like, he has things in his pockets. He's got, basically, like, what item are you looking at? The cloak specifically, I'm guessing?
Specifically his cloak, but I will take note of the other things he
has. Cloak is illusion. Boots are, I believe, transmutation, I think? Conjuration. I'm sorry. He's got a ring that is also conjuration, one ring that is evocation, and a bag that is just brimming with, I think, transmutation energy or conjuration. I don't know, whatever the fuck a bag of holding is.
Can I make a perception check to see if his cloak looks torn at all?
Yes, it's tattered.
All over tattered?
Yeah, the frayed ends of it are tattered.
Oh, you, Mr. Hacklas, you look like you've been around the bend more than a few times, seen quite a bit of action.
Huh, you could say that. I've been traveling around for quite some time now.
Indeed. When did you arrive in the town? I don't think I saw you the past couple of days we were here.
Oh, I've been around visiting various acquaintances for the past couple of weeks, I'd say. It's terrible what's been going on, though.
Yeah, damn shame.
I arrived about the same time as that other elf. It's fascinating meeting another one of my kind. He didn't seem to really want to talk about it much, though. But, you know, how you gonna do?
He likes to talk about himself more than anything.
Yeah, which is weird, because he didn't want to talk to me, like, at all.
Are you a full elf, or are you half elf, or is that bad to ask that? I don't know.
I don't know either. Full, if you're asking, though.
Sir, if you don't mind me asking.
He kind of looks over to you.
Your cloak, I noticed that it's a bit, tattered and damaged and everything like that. I specialize in being able to repair and things like that. May I see your cloak for a few minutes?
Oh, don't worry about it. Hey, come on. What good is an adventure if you don't have the scars to show it? Now, I'd rather not keep them on my body, but the outfit, hey.
Well, then, I do have one request that I don't wish to be rude, but I will have to insist on.
Okay.
Wolfgang. May I see the piece of cloth?
I gave it to
Miguel.
I gave it to Miguel. They said they were going to try to find a lead on it. But I do remember what it looks like.
Unfortunately, I would need it. I smile at Hacklas. Perhaps another time, then. I extend my hand. Denier, I'm exploring, trying to write myself a book on the intricacies of magic.
Well, very nice to meet you, Denier.
Indeed, it's a pleasure to meet you as well.
Kind of reaches out and shakes your hand.
Denier's going to give a smile.
Sandra comes back with the bowl of oatmeal. Oh, you're a doll. Thank you, Sandra. You're welcome, Hack.
Tell me, are you a resident of the city, or are you just in on business?
I am a resident of the world. I don't really have a... Well, I have a home, but it's been a while. I'm off... You could say I'm out here trying to write a book myself, so to speak, just not a literal one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just out here trying to find cool artifacts and try to make them myself, just anything I could do.
Oh yeah, what have you made so far?
Well, a few things here and there. Let's see. Ooh, he looks into his bag, and he pulls out a rock with a rune on it. Made a couple of these back in the day. They're pretty great.
Yeah, what's it do?
Well, if you activate it, careful by the way, if you activate it and then throw it, it'll blow up. And I try not to, I should probably just put that away. Puts it back in the bag. Yeah, best not to had a couple of accidents.
I imagine. What else?
I learned to enchant various pieces of jewelry. There's been so many things. I just, I'm going on my first century here, so.
I want to insight this man.
Go ahead.
Insight his life.
I want to see if he's purposely leaving things out.
Go for it.
22.
He doesn't seem to be purposefully leaving things out, but he definitely seems like a golden retriever where his brain's just kind of going left and right.
Oh my god, this guy's Mr. Peanut Butter. I'm trying to think of the best.
You seem really chipper.
Well,
most people would be really beaten up that they can't leave town, but you're quite the reverse.
Well, it's all just one adventure out there, really. Get to learn a new story, even if it's a little dangerous. I mean, what's the point of living a life devoid of danger?
That is true, but doesn't that stress your family out?
I haven't really written them in a good long while. Frankly, I don't bother them with the specifics.
That's fair. That's fair.
I am quite curious. You said you were good at enchanting things. Does your cloak do anything?
Oh yeah, those some pretty neat stuff. I mean, it's not like a cloak of invisibility or anything. Have you seen one of those? I'm looking for one. It'd be really cool. Like I just need to learn about it. Have you?
Aren't they
I
invisible?
think I have.
Oh, well. He kind of pulls his cloak up over his head, and instantly there's this shadowy darkness that shrouds his face, and his voice starts to distort.
You see, this here, it basically disguises you from vision. It'll allow you to, look different ways. Right now, I guess I want it to look like smoke, and it's pretty good. What do you think? Kind of scary, right? Ooh.
That's fascinating.
Where'd you get that from?
Found it in a cave.
Did you know?
A cave.
Well, cave, tomb, depends on your... I mean, there's a lot of them around here.
So we're all three, okay, out of character. All right, this motherfucker right here.
This fucker is shifty.
This guy seems to be the killer, but he's sitting down right across from us. That's not what he would do. Would he? Ah! Okay. I'm out of character, by the way, Nick.
No worries. I'm just imagining Osmo's eyes just staring, internal screaming.
Tell me, Mr. Hackless, are you in? I take it that you're the type that's interested in all manner of objects, correct?
Magical at the very least.
We have something that we came across in our travels not too long ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was wondering if you would be interested in taking a look at it. seeing if it piques your interest.
Well, I mean, if you're offering, of course.
Mr. Black,
Yeah.
the sphere that
That is
I
a cool name.
Thank you very
He kind of
much.
points at you.
Oh, we're still
Yes.
doing that.
Yeah, we are. This is Mr. White's.
Wow, what are the odds?
It's true. We just kind of bumped into each other like that.
I pull out
That's
the
so cool.
scrying orb.
Ooh.
Yeah, I found this in a tomb.
You want me to take a look at it?
Go for it.
Sure.
Tell us about it.
All right. Takes a look at it. Well, this thing's definitely only going one way.
Hmm.
What kind of a tomb did you find it in?
A bloody one
Hmm.
and a milky
That's-
one.
That sounds like a story. He says as he's like kind of tossing around his hands. Oh shit. With a nat 20, his face just kind of changes. You should put that away.
How come?
Because whatever's on the other end of that is probably not nice.
How can you tell?
I just call it a feeling. I've seen a few of these. A lot of them are just used to kind of like watch places around here, and I just get a real bad vibe from this one.
That's true. We should only send good vibes.
It
wrap
doesn't
it up
seem
and-
like it's on right now, but I just feels like necromancy, and that's not it's not typically a school I like to work around.
All right, Asmo grabs it and wraps it back up again.
You know that it's not gonna hide it, right?
I can't see if it's wrapped up in a blanket.
Okie dokie.
Is that a yes or a no?
We'd have to.
That's I do not know. It depends on the. From what I know, sure.
This guy, okay.
I would suggest wrapping it around, putting it in a lead box if possible. But
I would suggest throwing it in a river and never talking about it, but that's you.
fair enough.
Fair enough. Pack rats like that. Oh, check this out too, by the way.
I pull out an RA, the fire ant.
Hmm.
So I stab it into the table.
You burn the
Jesus.
table.
What are you fucking doing?
Sir, I'm not gonna lie to you. Does everyone ever tell you seem like a shifty fellow with your incredibly polite demeanor and just decked out in magical equipment?
I'm sort of patting the area around the table, trying to put
Yeah,
the fire out.
it's sizzling. Like there's a wood burn mark there now.
Are you fucking mad?
Please answer my question, sir.
It's not really up to me how people perceive me. I'm sorry. Do you want to be left alone?
Not at all, actually. We actually are trying to solve a mystery in town.
Is that? Oh, you guys are in charge of that. How's that
Yeah.
going? Is that
We got a couple suspects.
So is like, are you gonna like unlock the doors here soon? I'd like to keep moving. I don't like to stay in one place for too long. Feel like I've definitely overstayed my welcome. I've been here as I've been, out there searching through the various caves and tombs that happen to be in the neighborhood.
Well, that's up to the Connollys.
Yeah, I guess so. You seen them around lately?
Not this morning. Why?
I don't know.
You want to meet him?
I'm gonna fucking inside.
Go ahead.
What? 12.
The implication just seems to be that they're usually here. Yeah, normally are here by now, having some lunch or.
Well, they are the new interim magistrate of the town, so I'd imagine.
Is that what that commotion was last night?
Yeah, something along the lines of that.
What were you doing last night? Figured you'd be part of that commotion too.
I was just on my way back into town. By the
How'd
time I walked through the gate, somebody was running up and closing it, and I wasn't gonna go back out because it's cold as hell out there.
Oh, about that?
Asmo grabs the knife back.
Yeah, that's a neat knife, by the way.
Thank you.
Magical,
It's,
evocation.
Yeah, it has a lot of baggage apparently that came with it.
As I reholster the weapon.
Yeah, it's definitely from the old world.
Excuse me.
Oh, you know, before the war.
Oh shit.
Asmo just looks at it, just muttering to himself.
Clean the table. Mr. Hackless, if we were to need to, say, talk to you again, to bargain, just to talk for your area of expertise, where might we be able to find you? Here, I expect.
Well, I don't have many other places to go. Could be hanging out in my friend's place, or maybe my other friend's place, but frankly, I've crashed on their couches long enough.
And where are those?
Oh, I got a few friends around town. Hold on, I have to make up names now.
Oh shit! Sorry.
It's all good.
Damn, this guy came out of left field. Rachel, Ross, Phoebe, Chandler, Joey.
Dora, Nora,
All right.
Hubert, Phil.
You could maybe find me at the Dagnars or the Philistines or the Vorchex. They're old friends of mine.
Understood. Thank you very much.
No problem. I think I'll just hang out here for a bit. Maybe that elf guy will actually talk to me.
Maybe.
Careful, he's a little bit grumpy.
Yeah, noted. He's a bit of a character. Great singer, though.
Yeah, he is.
The door actually jingles again as you see Miguel and Darren Fjord walk in. All right, suppose we should start. Where's Magnus?
What do you mean, where's Magnus?
I mean, last time I saw him, he was with you. Why isn't he here? Is he sleeping still? That lazy bastard. What?
Okay. Where does he normally bunker down at?
Oh, he got a room here. I mean, you guys are taking up 3 of the beds, but
I thought
normally he and I would.
Yeah, I thought
split
you
the-
and him would share a room.
Well, I'm staying with him now, and it just kind of makes sense that we were sharing a room. It's the room that you guys are staying in, and I figured that he would have come. Did he not come back last night?
Can I make an intelligence check to remember where Magnus said that he was going?
Do any of you remember where he was going?
He was going to check out the other body. Wolfgang stands up and bolts out the door.
Yeah, Miguel is with you.
Ditto.
Yeah, I fucking run too.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Hackless.
Okay. Just kind of waves. So you're the mayor now, huh? And we cut. Yeah, you guys book it across town, or across the street, over to the area where you found Mr. Pilton's body. And as you open the door, you see sitting there against the wall Magnus. A smile, crude and maniacal, across his face. No
Magnus.
blood is on the scene. And a
Magnus.
puncture wound going straight through his chest.
I run over to him and I check his pulse.
Yeah, Miguel is over there with you, just shaking. What happened? Brother! Do a medical check.
10.
His body slumps forward. You can't find a pulse. His body feels cold. And Miguel cries into the night. And we'll have to pick this up next time on Roll With Me.